Alrighty, what is going on, my fellow Marvel Rivals gamers? Today we're going to be reviewing some Magneto gameplay, but we're not only going to talk about Magneto things, we're going to talk about general tank positioning and things like that for our buddy here, right? So, without further ado, let's get into the VOD.
Much better.
So as we're walking up here, your main goal is going to be figuring out what you're playing into, and that'll help dictate how you're going to play. If they have a penny and they're hyper focusing main, maybe you really can't just blunt force through main or that left lane, right? So with that being said, if you notice that they're investing too much in main, you can just pivot and get your team, or at least communicate to them, hey, let's go around the right side, right? Let's get different angles. We can break the wall from up top, right? Well, basically, you can get your team to push onto this top right side here. From here, you can break the wall here, and I believe here. And it just opens up a big opening like this, as well as you can play from down here. You can shoot this and get people around here, right? So if you notice that they are investing a lot of resources into the main two lanes, don't play into it. Don't play into it, because you're just going to feed the penny. Yeah, can you get into this corner and shoot the nest? But, maybe they'll, throw some things there so the net things can chase you. Maybe they push up on you, right, and they make you fight extra hard for that angle, things like that. Really think about how they're playing.
Miniature metal spiders. Interesting. You need not fear.
So as you can see, like I was saying, they're investing a lot of resources into main here. So I don't really know if you can just bully your way through. People are gonna have to get off lane pressure. So if anything, sorry, my ass is acting up. A play you can make is you can probably push up to this box here and try to bubble your Venom to get across, or your Psylocke to get across. And then from there, you guys can start having an alternate angle, or you can walk in front of them and shield your team around so that you can start having more than one angle to fight from. That's not within the net, but I feel like a good penny just picks up her net and places it somewhere else. So I don't know. I think I'd much rather prefer to take right side and get that high ground.
The moon haunts you.
Yeah. So you guys end up, I would say you lost that fight, but what I would say is you're over investing into that nest, or more so you're investing into the nest, and the penny's like over investing into it and letting herself die. A better penny will probably let the nest die and put she can do this basically. What she could have did was she could have just put a net down and throw some mines in it, and it does the same thing now. Like, you still can't walk through that, right? And you can't break him when they're in the web. So it's like she's overly investing into a web for no reason. So with that being said, like, you gotta be careful, because just breaking the nest doesn't really solve your problem, because she can just throw down a thing and throw down mines still. So right here, I'd step on just so I can start putting pressure on the point. You're purple. When you're blind like that, don't be afraid to kind of just maybe like not pop your shield right away, and just look at your health bar and see if you're losing any health. If you're not getting shot at, just save the resource.
We are undefeatable.
You don't need to run this down. So this is a prime example of just doing too much. You were doing more than enough. You could have been doing more than enough from here, shooting at the penny, and if he's gonna put a nest there, like, whatever, okay, cool, you can stay over there and look at something else, right? You don't need to chase this down. By you isolating yourself here, you give your life away. And if you're gonna give life away to anybody, let it be Jesus. Yeah, don't die for free. Okay, we're back though. Man, you got back fast. What the hell? Oh, you got res. Okay. Not gonna lie, I don't know. You can get on that box like that.
Behold the god of
Bubble?
thunder.
Okay, you didn't need to. Nice. You didn't have it anyways.
I have found more lost souls.
Very nice. Understand that you're the quote-unquote main tank in this comp, so you've got to be kind of like the lead of the charge in a sense. Try not to straggle off too much. You want to make sure you're around your teammates. You can punch through your shield. And then now I'll be walking up to that corner, trying to zone them out.
You need not fear.
So I'm waiting for that lift to come up. Go to the lift. Go to the lift. Right there, at your feet. Oh, the lift, go on the lift. Go up, the lift. Take high ground. No, you don't chase him, you don't chase him. No, no. Let him be. He's not doing anything. So right now he's pulling you out of position, right? And it may not seem like a big deal, but if a fight were to break out in a few seconds, you're not in the right spot, right? So, I mean, you should, yeah, I'm pretty sure you know this, right? You're pretty sure you know. Basically, you hit this, you're up here, right? And you play the video game, right? There's no need to chase him around. Good ult. Yeah, I'll say just one thing to keep in mind is that just remember that your ult, yes, you can use it for kills, but you can use it for other things as well. One cool thing that people haven't, I feel like, realized yet is a lot of healers, their primary healing is through their auto attacks. And your ult eats auto attacks. So sometimes if a tank's low, you could quite literally force them to pop an ult because you can just eat up heals, right? So depending on who they're playing, you can force out ults, you can do this, you can do that, just by popping yours. It's nice to try to get a pick, but I mean, as I played Magneto, you're not always going to get a pick with it. One thing to keep in mind is that your healers are like very brawly healers, so unfortunately going off to like off angles and stuff can be a little rough sometimes. But I'd probably play like the height here just to get a little bit more angles into the back lane, so we're not just only shooting tanks. Should have bubbled your hello there. We're down 2. Fight's over. The dire get out. Once you get ult here, I mean, you can just pop it just to take space here. Yeah. But one thing I would say, just land on height, right? Like you have, like why land back on mid? Throw it, land on height, continue, you know, having an off angle on them, right? You don't always have to hard peel back. I don't know, it might be a little confusing because earlier the whole conversation of like sometimes you don't have to do so much, but there are opportunities where just getting angles, you know, can make or break fights.
Don't give them another inch, or else.
So right here, instead of walking up here, I would still hold left because just being aware of, like I said earlier, spawns, right? Being aware of spawns. Yeah. You're vulnerable to this angle compared to like if you're here, you can probably just still throw shots. You can hear them coming up. You still have cover here, but you don't have to like. You don't like to have like a hard contest that.
Here they are now.
They end up falling back anyways. We're not defending. Not against the playing up here. I think it's fine. Goes down to execution. You have a flanker in there. So I would say you definitely want to probably be, it's rough to be more proactive because if they're hard focusing you here, then I guess you're kind of doing your job by pulling attention. Just make sure that, yep, Venom's getting bubbles. Nice. Stay close to the corners with the bubbles. So right here you see how you're shooting at Magneto. I would play like that close left box and I would try to just like, if I can try to get shots into the back line, just to reduce how much damage is coming in. Because if that Moon Knight just sits back there, I can free shoot. He's going to do a lot of damage. Especially because you're just shooting a shield right now. A shield that absorbs an infinite amount of damage.
I need healing.
I have a shield, but no complaints.
Very interesting by Venom. You could have shielded him, but he quite literally just walks to the right earlier and he's fine. But now that you're down one, you gotta be mindful. Just probably just start giving space slowly. They're not pushing you too hard, so you have some time. Just slowly give space. Don't give it too freely, but don't die for it. Make sure, I would say, if you want to shade towards the right here, just so that you're as close as possible to your Venom's respawn, so that when he does come back, you can get into the fight right away instead of having to like cross a whole point or whatever with swing just to get involved, right? The enemy team's smart, they'll try to like, you know, extend left so that they can force it anyways, but knowing most players, they'll probably try to engage on you hard. You need to live, you have to head cover, and you want to touch that last second. Right here, like using your shield there, like it just doesn't make sense, especially if you're not touching. Just chill. Literally wait till last second, right, and stay on. Too much jumping on and off. They get the point. You might have been able to win that fight low key if you just don't get off, and if you win that fight there, the game could be over, right? So I would just say, I know it's spooky, the thing's going up. You can touch late, you know, save your abilities. He's popping Punisher ult. Like, there's not really much you can do. Just wait late, right? Just chuck shots. If you would have just chuck shots instead of just like bubbling, getting blown up and backing up, maybe you have your ult. So you use your abilities run out, you pop your ult, right? You're still contesting, right? And then by the time your ult's done, you have your abilities back and you can contest even longer. And by then, hopefully someone on your team does something, right? Gets a pick, or your ult gets a pick, or whatever, and you win the fight. It's 7 seconds. No. Right? No, there's 4. It's a damn form. Oh, because they could have just capped it. But how much time did y'all have left before they capped it? 2 minutes left. Right, so yeah, that 2 minutes, they would have lost that fight. It would have been under 2 minutes. They would have probably had like 2-3 fights left. I mean, yeah, they only need one more tick, but I don't know. You never know, man. I feel like the only reason y'all saw first choke was because Venom made a mistake. You get a pick here. Be mindful of their spawns. They're going to spawn to your left, and they're going to get back before your team gets back. So with that being said, you need to make an executive decision. Are we going to finish this fight here, or are we going to fall back? I'm good with either or. It's whatever you want to do. It just needs to be, the decision needs to be made.
You are under my protection.
An extra force field? Great. Better watch your back.
You shall not be harmed. Do not expect me to do that again.
Never even saw me coming. No worries. I've got your back.
So if you see that high ground top left, first thing I like if you played up there, because that gives you the option to play height as well as drop down if need be. Compared to the Venom, can kind of play that corner and main, and if he needs to collapse on height, he can do it whatever he wants to. So I don't really see a need to really push up there. Their spawn's there, so I would just chill where you're at. They're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. So.
You cannot hurt me.
Disappear!
Better players doesn't fly. You're giving them free ult charge and everything. And they're just sitting in their spawn. Now they're gonna pop support ults and they're gonna bring you down. Ah. See, this is where the issue happens when you just feed them ult charge and they're in such a safe area. They have no threat and they can just fight for free. They build ults and then they dump them. Maintain high ground there. No need to drop. What you're doing right now, you could be doing from up top while being safer.
You brought this upon yourself.
Why play that corner when you can like play height and like play a little farther up, get a little bit more information, as well as you'd be close enough proximity to give your lock a bubble here instead she dies. That was one thing too is Magneto, try to keep your eyes on your teammates, because I mean, you've been doing it so far, but I really like as Magneto bubbling your teammates over yourself, because you're just enabling them to do things, right? Compared to bubbling yourself just for survival, like you can enable them to do things. I don't like this ult at all, and it's ult force. Even though you get a pick, it's like, what does that do? They lost the fight already anyways. So you want to hold like mid to right here.
You offer protection. I accept.
So since I know you're resetting, it's rough. You can't just stay up there, right? But when your Vanna comes back, right? Now you can use your ult to gain space here, right?
Only 60 seconds left.
Kind of chilling now. The Venom should be back soon, right? Oh, no, he's on cap now, so when cap gets back, I look for an ult. Cap's back, look for an ult. Oh, arise, my champion, to the sky.
Jury! Executioner! Fantastic!
So hectic.
Together to victory!
So close. This is your big chance.
You are under my protection. Another shield. Thanks.
What is this enchanted tool?
Take back your ult, Khonshu. You cannot hurt me. You are under my
Bubble.
This shield will serve me well.
I've got your back.
Final score.
Good little defense.
2-3.
Alrighty, so for the finale, the ending of this VOD review, we're just going to go over the notes real quick. So, the three things that I really want you to think about when you play tank and, you know, take on into your future endeavors is one, to value high ground. High ground is not only good for DPS, it's good for tanks. Why? Because you can enable your DPS as well as you can deny the enemy tanks from pushing your DPS out, because once a decent tank sees your DPS doing a lot on high ground, they are going to take it from them. And if you are not there to stop that, they are going to run them over. Being aware of spawns. There was a time where you guys won a fight, even though you lost the point, and now they're spawning to your left. So with that being said, you have to take immediate action. Are we pulling back? Are we going to shove these guys to finish this fight, right? Yada yada, whatever you want to do, right? But you need to be aware of those spawns so that you can make those calls. Now, granted, will your teammates in rank listen to you? I don't know, but it'll also help you better make decisions, you know, with that knowledge. Like, hey, they're going to respawn here. I need to make a decision now. Can I finish this? No. I need to back up. And this less W key, I feel like a lot of times you're dropping from high when you don't need to. You're walking around corners when you don't need to, right? You just got to really make sure that you're valuing the power positions that you hold, as well as just understanding when it's just not a good time to move forward. Sometimes a lot of tank players I see, they want to do more, but by trying to do more, they're doing less, right? Sometimes by doing less, you're doing more, right? By holding certain space, by being on certain high grounds, right? Enemies have to think, they have to work, right? But by you dropping, by you walking forward, you're removing some of that work they have to do. Like, for example, let's say the enemy has a Venom, and you're on high ground, and there's nothing for him to walk. He can't wall climb anything. He has to now swing in and slam on you, right? But if you drop that high ground and you start walking towards him, now he's like, oh, I don't have to do anything because you're coming to me. In some scenarios, is that good? Yeah, there are some scenarios where you can run people down, but not every time. As well as if you're like on the defense and you need to control certain parts of the map, sometimes you need to let them come to you, right? And then with certain abilities, like on Magneto in this case, he comes to swing in, you could probably knock him back, mess up his dash, whatever, right? Like there's things that you can do to prevent things from happening. But for now, let's not get too much into the nitty gritty. Let's just focus on valuing high ground more. Don't drop for no reason. Less W key. Sometimes doing less is doing more. And just be aware of spawns, right? I don't want to see you get better and face against better players, and now you're getting punished because you're not aware of where respawns are, or things like that. And with that being said, that's going to be the end of this VOD. If you enjoyed it, don't be afraid to leave a like and a comment if you have any tips for this player, and if you want to see any other kind of content. Also, as of right now, I am doing free coaching content until the demand gets higher. So whether it be you leave an ID in the chat down below in the comments, or if you hit me up on Discord, my name's Apxche, so that we can get some talking in and get you some coaching. Hey man, it's free for now, so take advantage, take advantage. And with that being said, peace out everybody, take care, hope you have a great morning, day, night, wherever you may be, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.